What is going on? Welcome to Aged and Barreled. Today we're taking a look at Bunnahabhain 12. This Islay single malt Scotch whiskey is distilled out of the Bunnahabhain distillery, located just across the Sound of Islay from Jura. It's actually the northernmost distillery on Islay, hugging the coastline directly north of fellow distilleries Ardnahoe and Kalila. It has a 12-year age statement. It is 46.3% or 92.6 proof. Natural color, unchill filtered, and I picked this up for around $57. Now, Bunnahabhain is owned by Burn Stewart Distillers. These are the same folks behind Deanston and Tobermory, and Burn Stewart itself is owned by South African company Distil Group. Being from the US, the brand I recognized the most of theirs was Amarula. Now, you may have noticed I mentioned that Bunnahabhain is an Islay distillery. Typically, when we think of Isleys, these are these heavily peated, medicinal, smoky, tarry whiskeys. Think of your Lefroy's and Ardbegs. Whereas Bunnahabhain has decided to go a completely different route. Now their whiskeys are unpeated and have a much more level sherried profile. Some tasting notes on the bottle include dried fruits, toasted nuts with vanilla, and a delicate coastal influence. So let's pop the cork off and give it a try. This has a beautiful dense nose. I get notes of dusty oak. There's a ink Sharpie-like note in there, caramel, and then sherry notes of mango, strawberry, and dates. On the palate, there's walnuts, baking spices, figs, molasses. There's like a cherry, but not like a sweet candy grenadine cherry, more of a natural whole fruit cherry. And something deeper that reminds me of chocolate-covered toffee. Okay, on to the scoring section. Starting off with flavor, there's baking spices, walnut, dark chocolate, toffee, cherry, fig, and molasses. The strength is 46.3% or 92.6 proof. The bite is medium, but I will say it drinks lower than the ABV would suggest. The complexity is low to medium, and the price is around $50. Bunnahabhain is a bit of a deviant when it comes to Islay whiskey, turning their back on peat to pursue sherry instead. Bunnahabhain 12 is their flagship whiskey, showing off this pursuit proudly, and they have a lot to be proud of. This clearly has sherry influence, and the spirit quality is superb. However, I do agree somewhat with one common criticism. While some would say boring, I would concede a lack of complexity. I do think the bourbon and sherry casks compete and take away from each other, muting some sherry notes that would otherwise come through. All in all, this is a unique lens to view Islay whiskey from. I'm giving Bunnahabhain 12 a 7.4 out of 10. Alright, that's going to wrap up this video. If you've had Bunnahabhain 12 before, rate it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, enjoy.